Mr. and Mrs. Irawan and their two sons, Arya and Brahm, were going to visit Taman Simalem Resort, a hill area in North Sumatra. "Is it still far, Mom?" cried Arya. It had been more than 6 hours since his last meal. "No, son," Mrs. Irawan replied. "We're almost there, around 15 minutes. "Hooray! We're here!" Arya excitedly shouted when the van slowly entered the main gate with a signboard saying "Mjua Jua," Karoni's word for welcoming guests. It woke Brahm up. When the van finally stopped, they both jumped out of the van almost immediately. Two men standing on each side of the glass door at the resort lobby greeted them friendly. On the right side wall of the resort lobby, there was a big photograph. A couple of men and women wearing uis gara, the traditional costume of Karonis. They were dominated by red color and complemented by some accessories made of woven golden and silver thread. The staff led them to the dining area with a long buffet table which served many local dishes. Terites. Arya read the first name of the dish he saw. "Yes, boy, this is terites, clear meat soup which main ingredient is digested grass from the rumen of the ruminant," the staff said. And before the boys could ask a question, he continued, "But the grass hasn't become dirt when it's taken. It's still as fresh as when the cows eat it." "Sang sang," 5-year-old Brahm read. "It is saksang, boy," corrected the staff. "It's minced pork stewed in its blood with coconut milk and special spice of Batak cuisine, andaliman," the staff enthusiastically explained. "How does it taste, sir?" Arya curiously asked. "It has a unique aroma, slight lemony overtones, and creates a tingy numbness in the mouth," the staff said. It was as if all the foods were waving at them and flattered them to taste. After the staff left, they decided to go with terites, saksang, and arsik nunung mas, a carb cooked in hours until the seasoning permeated perfectly. After filling up their stomach, they took a buggy, small vehicle more like a golf cart, to their room. They stayed in one of the rooms in Tongging Point, Lodge A. As they passed the corridor, there were some framed ulos hung on the walls. Ulos is a traditional piece of cloth of Bataknis. When they finally got inside the room, Arya and Brahm sprinted to the veranda to check out the view. They expected a fantastic landscape of lake and mountains. However, they could see nothing, as it was just darkness accompanied by small white lights outside. When the freezing wind touched their bodies, they rushed back in. Mr. and Mrs. Irawan told them to hit the hay because it was late and they had to get ready for the next day's activities. Brahm woke up first in the morning. "Let's go over the veranda and get some fresh air," he said in a loud voice full of excitement as he grabs Arya's hand. They were lucky it wasn't foggy. The morning mist rises as the sun comes over the hills. From the veranda, the breathtaking view of Lake Toba just in front of them. Arya felt like in a magical fairy tale land. All the worries of his tight schedules and difficult subjects at school melted away. It was already evening when they reached Flying Fox Ride. The sound of the pulley humming across the cable. The thrill of Flying Fox with Lake Toba view, just only could experience in here. Soon, along you'll feel in the spot even though the rain was dripping. "Let's have a ride," said Mr. Irawan to Arya. He followed his father to wear the harness. As they walked to the ladder, Arya looked above. The ladder was so high and the step ladders were too far. Arya got butterflies in his stomach. Suddenly, the fear of heights popped up in his mind. "I am too scared for this." Arya refused to continue. He looked at the children who stood with their dignity after the rides desperately. "Don't worry, Arya. You'll be ready next time," said Mr. Irawan. "Don't let it ruin our day. Let's go look for a snack instead." The rain was getting heavier, like the tears in Arya's heart. He saw Bram laugh at him. This flying fox ride was meant for children aged above 7 years old, so Bram had an excuse not to join. Sometimes he felt his life was better without his little brother. The way he teased, laughed at him, were so annoying. The last morning was trekking to Twin Waterfall. Everyone was ready and a local guide, Dame, was there to lead and guide their way to the rainforest. Their journey began with climbing down muddy stone staircases. "Be careful with your steps," warned Dame. "It rained last night, so our road becomes a little muddy and slippery." Now, the stone staircases were replaced with steeper and slippery road. They were walking down some hills with only wooden fence bordering some parts of it. Arya wet the horse. He didn't want to disappoint anyone. He didn't want his father to cancel the trekking for him. He anxiously continued walking at the back of the group, didn't dare to take a glance even though the twin waterfall could be seen. Down and down the hill they marched. They could hear the cheers and laughter of some children above. Local children were there enjoying their leisure time. Some children were playing tags and some were having snacks. "Arr! Help!" screamed from a boy. Arya was shocked as the loud shout fell so close to him. He looked back, and a boy was there hanging on the wooden fence just at the edge of the cliff. The boy continued crying for help and looked like he could fall any time. Arya knew he was the closest person and the one who could reach the boy fastest. For a second, he wanted to help but hesitated because of his own fear. Some people were running towards this direction in order to help the boy. After fighting against himself, Arya stood up and went to get to the boy to catch his hand just before the wooden fence broke apart. The cliff used to scare him, but he didn't let it get over him. He hung on the boy's hand, and soon after some adults came to rescue the boy. The boy was then brought to safety and calmed down. Mr. and Mrs. Irawan were very worried when they saw Arya held the boy's hand and quickly approached him. "Are you alright, Arya?" asked Mrs. Irawan worriedly. "Yes, Mom, I'm alright," said Arya and continued. "I didn't think I would do that, Mom. I'm fear of heights on a cliff. But I thought that he really needed my help since I was the closest to him. I don't want him to be in danger because of my fear." "You're such a thoughtful child," Mrs. Irawan hugged Arya, followed by Mr. Irawan. "You're a hero," predicated Bram. His eyes sparkled like diamonds as he hugged Arya. Soon, they went back to the meeting point. They must hurry up to catch their flight home. Bram was sitting beside Arya on the way to the airport. He was sleeping with a heavy nodding off his head. His holiday was taking the experience to another level. "I want to share this story with my friend, Mom. I don't know what to write, but I know the story will be great," whispered Arya.